Welcome to the General Audit Management Speaker Preview. I'm Shannon Steffi, Senior Editor for Internal Auditor Magazine. Today I'm speaking to the Honorable Theresa Grafenstine, Inspector General for the U.S. House of Representatives and the opening General Session Speaker for the 2016 GAM Conference in Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas, March 7th through 9th. Theresa will present a call to arms, the role of the Chief Audit Executive in the ongoing cyber war from 8:30 to 9:15 a.m. Theresa is responsible for planning and leading independent, nonpartisan audits, advisories, and investigations of the financial and administrative functions of the U.S. House of Representatives. Hi, Theresa. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me today.
It seems cyber threats do not discriminate against any industry. Can you talk to us about how your office has taken a proactive role in helping the U.S. House of Representatives address cyber threats?
Absolutely. When you think about traditional auditing, which is very important, we tend to look at controls and security things and transactions that have already occurred. And so it's very much a retrospective perspective on what's going on, what's working, what's not working. But a lot of times, when you think about the world of cyber, that's very much emerging threats. You can't wait until after you've already been breached to say, wow, that was really bad. We should have really done something ahead of that. So my office has taken a very proactive stance to addressing the cyber threat. Because I like to use the analogy, if we drove a car the way that we do traditional audits, which is very retrospective, we would always be looking over our shoulder at the things that have already happened, and we would hit somebody or something, right? And so we very much have become a very proactive audit shop, and cyber is a huge part of that. And so what we've done is that we're partners, we're independent, but we're partners with the CISO and the CIO in helping to identify emerging threats in the cyber realm.
And do you think government agencies have a harder time guarding against or addressing cyber threats?
Well, I think it's harder in the sense that I like to say that we're the soldiers on the front line, because cyber is an area that, while it's definitely hitting private industry, cyber is something that has been a reality in the government sector for a really long time. And we have the added responsibility of protecting constituent and citizen data. So we have to be especially careful about making sure that controls are in place. And I think that we're sort of the soldiers on the front line.
And what can an internal audit function do to be in a better position to respond when a breach occurs?
Well, I actually like to say let's move it before that. So before the breach occurs, I think is actually probably, because after the breach happens, I mean, there's sort of limited things that you can do. It's more of a cleanup activity you have to figure out what personally identifiable information has been exposed, whether or not intellectual property has been stolen, those types of things. So I like to say let's be a little more proactive and prevent that from happening. And a lot of times auditors think, well, I came into this business because I understand accounting, I understand auditing, I understand controls. I'm not an IT person. How am I supposed to be battling this very, very big growing threat? There's a lot of simple things that we can do. There are already frameworks out there. So whether you're using the NIST framework, which is what we use in the U.S. government, or whether you're using ISACA's COBIT framework or ISO, there's a number of frameworks that are readily available. It's just like anything else we do in auditing and accounting. We do a lot of complex types of things. You just need to get your head around the frameworks, understand how they work, and apply the ideas and concepts.
Can you give our viewers an example or two of a classic breach tactic?
Absolutely. So it's interesting. A lot of the entryways are not particularly technical. You'll see movies and stuff, and you'll think that everything's really high end, very sort of spy type of thing. But there's two classic ways for them to get in. And the first one is through phishing. And phishing is, we used to see, we've all gotten them in our personal email account. Well, you'll get an email and they'll say, oh, we have $1 million for you and just send us your bank account information. We'll be happy to pass that to you. And we can easily spot that as a scam. The thing is that when you get into the government space or into companies, the phishing attacks become a lot more sophisticated, where you'll have, to the degree of a nation-state sponsor type of phishing attack. It'll involve social media and going through and using traditional spy tactics. Well, they'll investigate. If they decide you are a target, they will investigate your Facebook page, your LinkedIn page, your Twitter. They'll figure out who you know, what you're interested in, and they will send you an email that will look like it's legitimate, because it's going to look like it's from somebody that you know about a topic that you care about. And then the next step is you click the link. When you click the link, they're installing malware, and that's when all the magic happens, right? The trick is if we can educate our people not to click that link, you've just got rid of one of the best ways for them to get in. That's not particularly technical. That's just all about education. The second method that they primarily use has to do with patching and updates to our systems. If you look at Verizon's most recent breach report, it was 99% of all breaches are they're looking at vulnerabilities that are over a year old. They're using vulnerabilities that are over a year old. If you're just patching and updating your equipment, that's 99% of the people, that's how they're getting in. So it's not that hard, it's not that technical. So focus on those two things and you're really, really closing your vulnerabilities.
What do you feel is the most important takeaway from your GAM presentation?
I think the most important takeaway is that cyber's not going away. And cyber is a team sport. This is not something that the regulators are going to solve. This is not something that government can solve by itself, that industry can solve by itself, or academia or professional associations, management or audit. We all need to work together on this because this is a team sport.
Thank you for giving us an overview of your session, Theresa. We're excited to have you opening the conference, and our viewers will be encouraged to attend your session to hear about it in more detail.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.